How's it going, everyone? Jiivita here with another testing version. This is testing 206. This adds some pretty awesome things. Body paint, so since we're looking at it right here, metal and gleam signs now have emissive white text by default. In other words, it glows in the dark. So now you can read clearly what the sign says in pretty much all lighting effects. Of course, you can use Gleam membership to change the color, but yeah, really awesome. A couple things I do want to call out up front is that if you're on the testing servers and you can't access the debugging menu, there is now a setting in the game options. So you go to settings, game, all the way down to the bottom, and you can actually turn the debugging menu on and off. So I actually ended up wasting a bit of time trying to figure out how do I get the debugging menu so I can like test this stuff out. Another thing I wanted to call out is that they warn on the release notes for the testing version that the notes are not considered complete or exhaustive. So there might have been a few things that got overlooked, or they just might fix or add things in before it actually comes over to live. So naturally things will evolve a little bit as we approach to release 207. So just keep that in mind if you're going to test this out on the testing servers. But anyway, let's get down to business. The main attraction to this release is the body paint. So now we can go over to the exchange, and now there's a whole section for paint. And yeah, there is 11 body paints here. Of course, you can right click on these to preview them, and you can even change the color. Gleam Club members will be able to, of course, have a little bit more control over the colors of both the high, mid, and low tints. But yeah, these are pretty awesome. There's also a thing in the patch notes saying that, I think it said for wearables, that Gleam Club members will now be able to change the color free of charge, so you won't have to buy a tint kit. I'm not 100% sure if that extends to paint. I think it would, but it is technically a different category. So if you come over to your inventory, you now have outfits and paint. So whether or not paint counts as a wearable is a good question. It probably does, but who knows. So taking a closer look at these, first off we have the brick pattern, and let's just take a look at some of the color combinations. Ooh, very nice. Oh, that's pretty cool. Ooh. But yeah, like this one would probably look really good on like a really dark colored character. So come down here. Next up we have energy. Oh, nice. So this is just like on just the arm here. So let's go ahead. Oh, I already have it equipped. So yeah, it's just the arm there. So kind of a nice little, it's fancy, but not like covering your entire body. So that's nice to have that option. Over here, okay, we got feathers. Let's look at some of the other colors here. Ooh, that's kind of nice. So yeah, presumably Gleam Club members would be able to change each one of these colors individually, but until we actually get our hands on it, won't be able to know for certain. Well, that's kind of nice right there. Maybe if my skin color is a little bit different. Okay, next up we have fire. Ooh, yeah, fiery. Oh wow, okay, that's kind of crazy looking. Okay, so yeah, you can get all sorts of really crazy... Oh, that's pretty interesting. So... let's go ahead, take a look. Aw, sweet, look at all of that. See, who needs pants when you have something like this? Let's see, maybe turn off. There we go. Ooh, that's pretty cool. So we got like this handprint and paint smeared about. That's pretty awesome. Let's see here. Ooh, liking some of the default color combinations here. That's pretty interesting. That's pretty nice. Okay, so let's see. Okay, yeah, so there's not a whole lot on the back for this one. Still pretty nice. Oh, and here's one of actually my favorites just because it's kind of naturey looking. And this one actually has some pretty crazy color combinations. You can make it basically look like whatever you want. If you want it looking naturey, you can, or it can be kind of more otherworldly type something or another. Ooh, that's kind of nice, the white and red. And this is what it looks like from behind, so pretty nice. Oh, that's nice. So we got the motion right here. Let's see what... Ooh. Oh, that's pretty awesome right there. And there we go, that's what it looks like from behind. So we got some nice shoulder stuff, a little bit on the legs, not a whole lot. Still pretty nice. And over here we have the portal, and I was a little bit confused by this one. I think it's supposed to look like kind of the design on the conduits, like the warp and portal conduits. And I think unfortunately my skin color is kind of occluding much of this, but if we come over here, yeah, some of these different colors and it stands out a lot more. So yeah, it kind of has that kind of crazy portal conduit look to it almost. Oh, there we go. So that looks really nice from behind, actually. Assuming you have a color of skin that actually lets it show. Quite nice. And over here we have some spots, so kind of more on the simple side, I suppose. Let's see here. So yeah, kind of like leopard spots fading into a couple of other colors. See what it looks like. Yeah, okay, so just kind of mostly on the shoulder area, a little bit on the legs, not a whole lot. Coming over here now we have the wave. This is pretty cool because like just got the shoulder, a little bit of the arm, some of the leg. Let's look at some of the other color combinations. Ooh, that really kind of fades together quite nicely. Nice. Ooh, that purple's pretty awesome. Let's go ahead, let's apply the purple. See what it... Okay, so yeah, it's kind of just on the arm and leg here. Very nice. So yeah, it gets the... Let's see here, that would be the right arm, and then it comes down to the left leg. Yeah, right arm, and fades off to the left. So pretty nice. And then finally we have the tiger over here, so it kind of wraps around to the front, but if we look from behind, it's pretty much the entire back, so that's pretty awesome. And let's see here. I can make some really interesting color combinations here as well. And I really cannot wait to see... Ooh, that kind of white and black is pretty nice. Oh, that's kind of cool. Kind of almost goes with my yellow skin. Let's go ahead and apply that and see what it looks like from behind. Nice. That's pretty interesting. So coming back over to the exchange, these do cost 1,200 qubits each. However, they do make a pretty dramatic statement, so that seems like a fairly reasonable price and should kind of slow down people from, unlocking every single body paint and kind of diminishing the uniqueness of each one. But like I said before, I can't wait to see what the Gling Club membership tinting can do for these. I think it's going to be pretty sick. So moving along from the awesome new body paints, we have a spattering of all sorts of goodies, quality of life, bug fixes, performance improvements, and just, well, nice features. So probably one of the biggest ones is now whenever you complete a meteor, looting the actual meteor or loot box from the meteorite will now award experience. This experience goes up as the difficulty of the world is greater, so you'll get more experience from completing a meteorite on a level 6 planet than you would on a level 3 planet. The experience is not affected by the meteor level, just the planet. And to give you a quick overview, level 3 worlds will give 500 experience, 4 1800, 5 4000, and then finally 6 will give 8000 experience. And of course we don't have 7 and 8 worlds yet, so we'll have to wait and see. But I don't know, it did a complete double going from 5 to 6, so looks like it really kind of ramps up the higher you go in the world level. So pretty nice, and should help people level a little bit faster. So very nice. It's also good to note that dormant meteorites will not award EXP, so no free experience for finding those critters. Next up, a very nice quality of life change is now running no longer consumes a percentage of your hunger. Rather, it consumes basically a set amount. So basically, if you have a bunch of points into Zeal, or maybe even the energy epic to make your energy bar bigger, you now will be able to run farther. So for example, a person with no skill points could run for 3 minutes and they would have a certain percentage of energy left, whereas somebody with maximum energy could run the same distance and their energy bar down below would be the same size. So it really kind of penalized players for taking extra energy because they still used it at the same speed and they had to eat a lot more food to get it back. So now running around is basically a lot cheaper, at least for players that have a lot of skill points invested into energy. So very, very nice. And a great addition for new players is that now they can both reset their skill pages and use cleanse points unlimitedly until level 20. So that way they can experiment with all the different skills or just flop them around as needed all the way up until level 20 at least. And hopefully by then they have a decent idea of which direction they want to take that particular character. So very, very nice. And with the addition of Body Paint, Gleam Club membership has seen a bit of a buff. Now you can re-tint your wearables without using a tint kit. So just like you can customize the look of your character, you should be able to do that theoretically for all wearables, maybe even including body paints. As I said before, I'm not 100% sure because outfits and paint are in 2 different categories, but I think it still counts as a wearable, but we'll just have to wait and see. At any rate, a very nice addition to be able to retint your stuff without having to spend qubits. So very, very nice. Another amazing quality of life addition is now you can save up to 100 locations, up from 32. So if you have a whole bunch of farming locations, now you don't have to constantly kind of weed through and pick some out, or maybe craft them as a location marker and store them on your shelves. Now you can have all the way up to 100, and that will be very, very nice. It's like every time I want to save a location, I'm always having to dig through and find something else to basically get rid of. And yeah, it's a little bit annoying. So now you can do 100, and I'm very much looking forward to that. Another addition to the settings menu is now you can go over to audio, and there is a speaker type section. So I think it defaults to stereo, but you can switch over to headphones, surround sound, TV, and then back to stereo. So if the volumes of certain sounds don't quite seem to be right, it might be because the game is anticipating a different set of speakers. Another nice addition that I didn't even know wasn't a thing was now there are third-person swimming animations along with a sound effect. So now you can actually hear yourself swim, and if you use third person a lot, you can, well, see yourself swim. I honestly didn't realize there wasn't third-person animations for swimming, so quite nice. Moving along, there's also been quite a few performance increases, particularly for CPU in areas with either lots of players or entity blocks like storage. So now like crowded areas and particularly really built up towns and cities, hopefully you should see some improved performance when there's lots of such blocks around or just lots of players. And it sounds like it might even add a little bit of extra performance to meteor type events, since those certainly tend to have a lot of players about. Also, the lighting system has been optimized in some way that basically optimizes bandwidth usage, and this should particularly show up in instances where you either have a lower powered PC or maybe PS4 of being able to load in portals faster since less information has to be downloaded as far as what's going on the lighting side of things. So that should be pretty nice, particularly for PS4 players since they tend to struggle a little bit for loading portals. And following along with the quality of life, the knowledge descriptions for certain resources have been some way improved. It mentioned like the secondary description, so I'm not sure if it's talking about this. And following along with the knowledge improvements, now all of the forging ingredients properly list their vigor and stability costs, so that is pretty darn amazing. So it looks like, yeah, so it is on the right-click description, not necessarily the description here. So at any rate, that is just amazing. So you can much better plan out your strategy knowing this information up front. And as usual, there's been quite a few bug fixes. The two notable ones was actually the forge ingredients not listing the vigor and stability cost, as well as healing bombs. It mentions level 3 healing bombs, so I guess actually level 2 healing bombs are the ones that restore stamina. Apparently they weren't supposed to increase your maximum energy or restore hunger, so now they only restore missing energy. They don't essentially feed you, which is a little bit unfortunate because that was really handy, but then again it was a little bit confusing of like, how is a bomb feeding me? Am I eating the bomb, eating the explosion? So that was a little bit odd, but it was pretty darn convenient. But now that should be fixed, and yeah, we'll have to go back to eating food. And on that same note, it appears that well-fed foods no longer prevent hunger degradation, rather it simply slows it down. So that's a little bit unfortunate as well, or maybe it's a bug and just needs to be fixed. I'm not really sure. The patch notes didn't mention that, but yeah, we'll just kind of have to wait and see, I suppose. But anyway, I think that about wraps this up. This pretty awesome update. The body paint is amazing, the extra locations, experience from meteorites, the missive text on metal and gleam signs. I mean, all of it's very, very nice. So, not to mention the vigor and stability cost on the forge ingredients. Oh, I sorely missed that information. I had most of it memorized, but still, when you're trying to figure out new strategies and you can't see the stability and vigor cost, ooh, that was a little bit annoying. Anyway, this was Jiivita. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more like this, and if there's anything you didn't like, please let me know down below. Also, if you like my channel, want to get cool perks, check out my Patreon page. Until next time, peace.